Okay, I am installing a few things on my Honda NT700. I want to see if I can make a near perfect bike even more closely perfect. Okay, so here's what I've done. I ordered a set of GL 1800 foot pegs. There's one of them right there. Here's the stock foot peg. You can see the difference. This edge of the foot peg is 1/2 of an inch closer to the brake pedal this way. Okay, the Goldwing foot peg is I'm going to say about 1/2 an inch longer and about 1/2 an inch wider, and they go right on. I have to, of course, put the return spring and a new cotter pin on the end, and the scraper, but they go right on. I'll let you know how they work out. I put a set of rubber topped foot pegs on my Kawasaki Z400 a couple years ago, and it was a big improvement in comfort. These rubber foot pegs isolate you from any vibration from the engine goes through the chassis. This is an auto vibrator, but I still want if I can improve the foot pegs, I want to give my feet a little more room to move around. They were only $18, $17.50 or something like that, free shipping on eBay, and they are generics. But I've bought those ones. This is loose because that nut in the bottom that holds the rubber thing on, but that's not a problem. I will tighten that up and transfer the scraper. Where's the scraper? Right there, I guess the warning scraper to let you know that you're getting close to being like Valentino Rossi. Okay. The other things I'm doing today is I've put on a sheepskin. I was riding the other day and it was hot, and it was 90 degrees, and it was a 6 hours in the saddle day, and sheepskins, I've been using them since the 80s. They will be warm when it's cool, and it's getting cool here in September, and they're also cool when it's hot because you're getting air under your junk, you know, the room to breathe instead of sitting on that vinyl. So that's number 2. And the third thing I'm up to today, now I've tried, these are bar risers setbacks. Okay, they come up and they set back. All right. Now, when I bought this machine, it had this in the saddle. They're Healy bars, setbacks, made specifically, I think. Well, I guess they could fit other bikes, but they were on this machine. And as you can see, I not only have the Healy bars that are setbacks and risers, but I also have other risers in the Healy bars risers. So it's a series of risers. Now with the way I have them here, it'll move the bars up 5 inches. Okay, so subtracting it, so it'll be 4 inches if I remove these. So it's just a matter of trial and error, and I will let you know how that works out. Okay, I've just noticed now in the sunlight that this color, this metallic gray, matches No, it doesn't. I thought it matched the color of the metal on my upper triple clamp. Okay, now I was going to put these rocks bar risers. These I had on my Kawasaki Z400. These are, I know these are made on a CNC machine out of solid aluminum. They cost around, when I bought these, they were around $80 a long time ago. And what I liked about these is you can rotate these. This is two of them together, but there's a block there that goes into the saddle, and you clamp on that the way this strap is clamped onto that, and you can roll the bars, you know, almost probably about 50 degrees forward and back. I like these, but I was unable to get them to work. I don't have the right clamps to clamp onto these blocks, these round pins that go in the saddle. I don't know why I didn't have the right stuff. But anyway, I'm going to try one or other combination of that to try to move the bars up and back a little bit. My shoulders were bothering me after a 6-hour day. Okay, and one other little thing. When this bike broke down on me, the first long ride I took on it, which was only the second time I ever rode it, due to plugged fuel pump filter caused by the original owner putting stabilizer in the gas. It looked like a solid mass of cream of wheat cereal in the bottom. Okay, and it solidified in there, and it stayed on the bottom of the tank when the original owner decided to have the bike taken to a shop to get it running, new battery, get it inspected, and put new Michelin tires on it. Thank you for that. They're new. They are not old tires that were never used. They are new. They were from 2022 on the DOT numbers. But anyway, me getting the bike and that gas sloshing kept releasing that stabilizer that was a solid mass in the bottom of the gas tank. I have videos on YouTube showing what it looked like inside the gas tank. But anyway, that plugged the filter eventually by loosening that crap. So, when I was stuck, I went to a parts store, stuck out there on the road, and I bought some fuel line. Where the hell is it? Anyway, it was $2 a foot. They did not sell vinyl or PVC fuel line anymore. An 8-foot piece cost me $16 plus tax, and I ended up not even using it. I'm in Home Depot the other day, and there's fuel line. $4.50 for a 10-foot roll. They have all sizes. It's in the plumbing department. So if you've got an older motorcycle that uses the old style gas line, Home Depot has it in stock for $4.50, not $2 a foot. That's my report for today. I'll let you know how this turns out, and I'll see you there.